Hello, my lovely. You didn't get to where you are in your business by doing shit the way that everybody else does. And you know that what got you to where you are now is not going to get you to where you want to be. And if you are listening to this podcast, it's because you want to be the go-to for what you do better than anyone else. Your brilliance is the niche. Being you, that bold, unfuckwithable presence that you've secretly been craving to set free, she is in there. And that means you will have to burn some old bridges down. And attracting your people will also repel those who are not for you. Fucking hooray. Becoming a force of nature business and brand means no more Miss People Pleaser, no more hiding your turbo brain, no more dimming down jack shit. And if you have ever been told to tone it down as a woman with ADHD, it's time to tone your shit all the way the fuck back up. That is how you create unstoppable momentum in your business and visibility that is something you've been avoiding, but that you truly want. This podcast is about stepping into your upgrade, watering down anything, never change the fucking world. You were not born to be forgettable. And as one of my all-time favorite quotes says, well-behaved women rarely make history, and nothing about you or me is well-behaved, at least not anymore. In today's episode, we're doing a coffee chat. These are some of my favorite episodes because I bring in a fellow business owner, a female founder. And today I have one of my friends that I'm bringing in. She does branding, websites, logos, those kind of things, but with a twist. She is a Flamekeeper and a sacred brand alchemist, and she works with soul-led visionaries, thought leaders, and heart-centered powerhouses. She wants to help them become seen and trusted and have visuals and a site that are aligned with their true voice. So I am going to bring her on the show today. You are going to absolutely love her. You're going to love this discussion. I just finished having it with her and it was incredible. Lots of little nuggets and lots of just back and forth between two neurodivergent women who own businesses and going down all different kinds of rabbit holes. I hope you love this episode. And one more thing, welcome to my girl gang, the Feral Women's Club. Welcome back to the ADHD Entrepreneur, the podcast for feral ADHD women in business who refuse to play by the fucking rules. My name is Carrie. I am your host, and I'm the chief weirdo of my brand, Carrie Out Loud. If you are new here, hey, hey. If you aren't new here, hey, hey. It's great to have you. My mission is to help 10,000 female founders who are that close to hitting their first 100K year, break through to the other side, and then take them beyond that marker through ruthless business simplification. You know it's time to stop the fucking brain chaos and find the clear growth path that your brain says like that full body fuck yes to. And if that is you, then you are in the right place. If this episode has an impact on you, pretty please with a cherry on top. Could you do all the things? Leave a 5-star rating, a review of this episode and what resonated, what struck a chord, and also subscribe so you don't have to remember to come back and listen every Wednesday. You'll just get notified. I understand your ADHD both professionally and personally. So everything I share here is my 25 years of business experience filtered through the lens of having these feral fun houses of brains that we have. I do not do this work to be put on a pedestal. I am on a mission, and that mission is to help you get the fuck out of your way so that you can grow beyond the 100K mark. I do this so that you can look at someone with a brain like yours and a big ass foul mouth who is neurodivergent as hell and has a brain filled with the same kind of like magical chaos as yours and say, well, she can do it. So can I. And then you grow your shit like wildfire. Okay, now let's get into it. Here is my coffee chat with my friend, and I'm going to let her introduce herself. Today, I am really excited to bring in one of my newer friends. We met through Instagram and she came into my DMs and she was like, "We need to be friends." And I did a coffee talk with her, just two business owners chatting. And that is something that needs to be done a lot more, by the way, is just having chats with other people that don't have any objective to that, just for networking, right? So that's what we did. And the more I got to know her, the cooler I knew how cool she was. And I wanted to get to know her better. And then it was very clear that she should come onto the podcast and have a coffee chat. So I'm going to let her introduce herself and tell you what she does. And then we're just going to have a chat about business and a couple of other things. So let's get the party started. Guest, why don't you introduce yourself?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be here. The moment that you were like, I want you to come on my podcast, I was like, what? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So I am very eccentric. I also, especially if I can't see my face, then I'm very much like all the expressions come out. So it's probably best that I don't see my face right now. So more authentic. Anyway, I'm Angel Dash. I am the owner and founder of Angel Dash Branding Co. And that is where we help founders, we help leaders, we help visionaries, we help disruptors take their vision and turn that into fire. We turn that into a blazing brand that we can just take and run with and share your vision with the world. We can take it and make sure that you are helping and you are out there and aligning with the clients that you are there for. And that is my purpose. That's what lights me up. And that's why I'm the Flamekeeper.
I would love for you to explain what Flamekeeper means to you and like kind of how that came about.
So that actually came about in a vision. I was talking to one of my partners and I was like, okay, I just had a weird vision and I have to share it with you. She's like, okay, what is it about? So in this vision, I'm walking down a really dark hallway. It is pitch black, but at the end of that hallway, there's a silhouette, a very feminine silhouette, and a glow coming from her chest. When I get closer to this silhouette, I noticed that she's got a flame in her heart and she's holding a torch. The torch isn't lit at the time. And so when I come closer to her and I'm in her energy and I'm in her space, it's very calming, relaxing, and safe. And she takes the torch and she lights the torch with her glow and her fire that's in her chest. And then she hands me the torch. And when I came out of that vision, I realized that that's what I am. I am the type of person that takes the fire that's inside of me and I light the way for others. That's where Flamekeeper came from. So it's an amazing term to use. And there are so many other Flamekeepers that are out there to help guide others along their way for sure.
Right. It's your way of saying, here, take some fire from me until you have your own. I'm going to show and light the way for you. Right.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Exactly.
That's awesome. And what is it that you do specifically? Let's like the nuts and bolts. You do brand design, like explain the different elements to the work that you do.
So in short, the bare bones is what I call it. The bare bones is branding and websites, right? But the approach that I do is a lot different than anybody else.
It is. That's why I had to have you.
My approach to branding and website design and building is from a trauma-informed lens. I will sit with my clients and I will listen to their stories. I will embody what they're feeling, and then I transmute that into the things that they can't get out into the world. So I think of it as like a ball of yarn is stuck in your head, right? All these different like tangles of yarn, and then they're giving me this ball of yarn and I'm like, okay, let's just untangle this and turn this into a beautiful like blanket or whatever comes to mind. Apparently Eiffel Tower is what's coming to mind. I don't know if you can do that with yarn, but apparently my brain says you can. So there you go.
Welcome to the neurodivergent side of the internet, bitches.
We are fucking here.
Yes, we are.
So it's a brand that just takes the breath, essentially,
Right.
takes the breath and turns it into magic, right? So I'm an alchemist
Right.
of what the vision is.
So you take in their story and you're able to mirror it back in a way that helps with their branding, their marketing, and all that jazz. Is that I hate cliff notes, cliff noting anything, because what we do is so, it's so multifaceted. But I do want to kind of break it down. So if somebody's looking to hire
no,
you, like, what is it
it,
that you take your process and you put them through this in order to help them create this like brand that really resonates out in the world, correct?
absolutely. Absolutely. I make it
Awesome.
all like sound fancy and stuff, but the bare bones is taking something that they have a vision of doing and then turning that into the brand, the business, the thing that they want to do in the world and helping others with. And I just make it a little bit more magical, a little razzle dazzle.
The visual representation of the business, the feel, all that jazz. Good.
Mm-hmm.
And now, of course, we both are super neurospicy. so, so yeah, let's talk a little bit about doing business with an ADHD brain. What do you find is the part of your neurodivergence that brings the magic into your business? What part of the way your brain works is the thing that draws that out of other people? Because if people are opening up to you that easily and really like sharing these deeper things, especially since you're trauma informed and you're taking people's stories and you're taking maybe their hardships that they've alchemized into their purpose and you're helping them reflect that out into the world, how do you think your ADHD-ness, your neurodivergentness, how do you think that plays in to why you can do what you do the way you do it?
That's a very good question. Let me ponder it for a second. Because I don't think I ever thought about, well, how does my brain work when it comes to this? So,
Mhm. Is it more of something that is because we're very intuitive. We're highly, highly intuitive people because we can either hyper focus and like block out everything, or we can't block out jack shit. And the fact that we can't block out jack shit means that oftentimes we are people who take in things that other people don't see or hear or feel, or you know what I mean? Like we take in information that the normies will just walk by because they're like, oh, that's nice. And we're just like, ooh, what's that? I gotta know everything. So
well,
go ahead.
so I think as I'm wiggling everything, I'm going to use my most recent case. I shouldn't say case. My most recent magical experience.
There we go. I like that. I think that should be what the program's called. Welcome to my magical experience.
Welcome. If I ever create one, I'm going to call it that.
Yeah, and you have to put your hands underneath your chin like that, like, welcome.
I don't know why I do that. I think that's
It's
probably
cute.
a neurospicy thing. I'm like,
You know how often we do that? I see that all the time. It's hilarious. It is a trait. It's a weird like, yeah. Anyway, go on.
So I had a potential client come to me. She was referred to me by another client that I had worked with. And she had said that, I wanted to work with you, or at least I wanted to see what you were about because you weren't like the others. And I was like, nah, I'm fucking different. And I know that and I own it. So when she came to me and she told me, I was looking at others and then I saw your brand and then I was delving into all the things that you do from your website and your social medias and just something about you and the way that you take the normal branding and website and you make it trauma informed. She's like, I wanted to be in your space. I wanted to be in your world and I wanted you to help me transmute this into what I'm trying to do in the world. And I think that what that means and how I do that is I don't approach things in a very, okay, let's have a corporate meeting and let's talk about all the things that you need to. No, that's fucking boring. I don't have the space for that. I'm like, get that shit out of here. Like I can't do it. I'm very much, I gotta do weird shit. I gotta do crazy. I gotta do bold because that's who I am.
Yeah.
And I think that by fully embracing who I am, even though I was late identified, fully embracing who I am, everything is just completely blown out of the water in proportions in the most amazing way. because people see the authenticity. And I do hate that word because so many people use authenticity.
I like genuine. That's the one I started running with because I feel like we are
Okay.
genuinely who we are.
Yeah.
So authenticity is one of those words that is literally thrown around like a 50-cent word nowadays. But genuine is not a word I hear used often. And I feel like when we're the most genuine, when we are our most genuine selves as neurodivergent people, we are fucking light bulbs to other. It's like moss to a flame, and it's hard to explain it or to help other people understand it. But it's just, that is, people either do you experience this? People either fucking love you or they're like, no, hard no. Has it been that way your whole life?
It has been that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
And I guess I had always thought that it was, oh, you're too much. Oh, you're too
Yeah.
this. Oh, you're too
Yeah.
bossy. No,
Sure.
I'm not bossy. I am direct and I am very assertive when I know what needs to be done. I was a combat medic in the Army. I don't have time to sit here and beat around the bush trying to figure out how I'm going to get from point A to point B. So I think that's my magic.
Yeah, plus we don't like small talk. Like straight
No.
up, we don't like small talk. So here's what I find interesting in your business is because of the fact that we do not like small talk in general as a subset of neurology, whatever, that you brought trauma informed into it. So explain to the people what trauma informed means, just in case they don't know, and why that is an element for you that you felt was important, because that is definitely a differentiator for you. So I'm just curious to know how you brought that into your business.
In short, it was my falling deep down into a dark hole and having to literally carve my way out of this hole. And it started, I mean, a long, long time ago. I realized I had trauma, right? I used to say, oh, my life was great when I was a kid. My life was great. It wasn't. And it wasn't in a way that you would expect. It was emotional neglect and emotional absence from both parents. I was also the oldest of three kids.
So you were parentified, I'm going to guess. Yes.
Yep.
Like you were the other
eldest daughter.
Yes. Oh boy. Yes. Yeah.
So, and I didn't realize that was a trauma until I was in my 30s.
Yeah.
So all of these other different things, and I'm not going to go through the list because there's a lot. Everybody has them. We all understand.
Sure.
But all of this led to meeting my soul sister. And then she passed in 2021 to an autoimmune disease. And that was kind of the catalyst of my fall. That was when I realized, okay, you need to stop fucking hiding. You need to stop sugarcoating shit. You need to stop trying to fit in. You weren't born to fit in. You're here to burn the box. You're here to take everything that you are and glow as brightly as you can. And I want others to do the same. So from that point, that was the first catalyst. And then of course there was many other catalysts that happened. And that's what started the healing journey. The healing journey is what then transmuted. I feel like transcribed means I'm writing. I feel like
it is.
It's like
when you listen and you type or write something out is transcription. Yeah.
So not transcribed, my friends. I'm talking about transmute. So took all of that, transmuted that into what I do now. So the trauma informed part of it transmuted into knowing what trauma was, knowing that when you come to me and you talk to me about, well, I want this business to be badass. I want this business to be this, that, or the other. And you come to me and then we start talking about, okay, well, what does it look like with this? Well, I have some, I don't know if I like it. Okay. Where in your body are you having resistance? Because once you have the resistance and you're telling me where in your body you're having the resistance, then I can say, okay, well, let's work through this and figure out what specifically we can do to either work through that so that you can do the business side or the branding part that you're having resistance in. Or it's a matter of, okay, well, let's nix that and we'll find something that works better with your body. So, and that's all up to my clients. That depends on how they want to move forward. If they have too much resistance, we don't move forward with that idea or that
Right.
whatever that thing is. And
Mhm.
so that's where the trauma informed comes from. It's about feeling what's good for their body, and then that moves into the explosion of their business because now they feel good about it. Now they're
Right.
proud of it, you
Right.
know?
There's no area that when they go to talk about it, they don't, they get, go, but words are hard. They feel constricted, right?
Right.
So you're taking out any of the ways they feel constricted so that they can sell, they can show up fully as their genuine self. They can help the people that they want to help without necessarily touching on the thing, but it's still part of them and part of their brand, but in a way that they can lean into instead of feel like they have to lean away. Is that pretty
Right.
accurate? Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. And I'd love you to talk a little bit about a story. My favorite story, one of my favorite stories you told is about your branding, the snake and your cane.
So
I'm all,
for
this is a book, my branding, my snake, and
yeah.
my cane. Yeah. Yeah. So
and funny enough, I am writing a book. We're hopefully going to be published beginning of next year.
shut up.
You're gonna love the title. Are you ready for it?
I kind of am.
It's called Serpent and Strategy: A Flamekeeper's Path to Reclamation.
That's really cool. That's really cool. That's
I'm excited
amazing.
about it. We talk about the shadow, we talk about the shedding, and we talk about the rising. So 3 different parts in the book.
That's
And
really
then
cool.
also incorporating my bold method that I founded as well. So just kind of incorporating all of that. And
yeah. Does it talk about your military experience and all of the history there? That's so cool. Well,
Yep.
I'll read the shit out of that book.
So all of that, I had a client last year that came to me. She's now a good friend of mine, which is what happens with my clients. Like, I want to be friends with everybody. So I'm just like, oh, I love you. You're amazing. Can we be friends?
Yes. Yes.
So
I'm here for that.
Right.
Yeah.
She came to me, and she's a well-known shaman, and she is a badass. And she comes to me and she tells me, I don't know how to put what's in here on paper and make it amazing, but I can tell you that I have images. I can show you how it works. And I was like, okay. So needless to say, she also loves The Shining, the movie.
Yes.
So we incorporated her spirit animal, which was the black jaguar.
That's
and then we
awesome.
incorporated the pattern of the carpet into her logo.
Oh,
So
wow. That's so cool. I love those little touches that nobody picks up on except us, because that's
Right.
really what makes our brand us. And that's why I love this story because of, anyway, I'll let you continue.
So all this, she came to me, we were talking, and she's like, I really want you to go on a client journey with me so that you see how I work and what needs to happen. And I was like, okay, you know what? That sounds amazing. Like, if I don't understand how somebody's business works, I would love for them to show me, actually, as a client's perspective per se.
Right.
So we go on a journey, and I mean, it's buck wild in this journey, man. I'm seeing Merlin. I'm flying through space. I am literally on a broom like Harry Potter with Merlin next to me. And it's not, she's telling me like, I'm seeing Merlin, and I'm like, okay, Merlin's cool. But when she sees Merlin, it's like a very like serious Merlin. I'm assuming. Right. Very serious. When I see Merlin, I'm thinking of the Disney cartoon Merlin, who is goofy as shit, just like bouncing along next to me in space while I'm on a broom, right? And this is what is coming into
the story even
brain.
more now. The story's even better than it when I've heard it. Oh,
you're so welcome.
Oh, thank you. And scene. Go on.
So she's walking me through this journey, and she's expressing like what she's seeing. She's talking about Merlin, she's talking about space, she's talking about all these things. And she ends up telling me that I am having creative blocks, and I'm having creative blocks around my foundation.
Is that true?
Okay. I was having foundational blocks. I was having a hard time figuring out, how do I make my brand me? Because before, My brand's name was ATN Creative Solutions. And
That's
ATN,
very corporate-y of you.
right. But here's why I thought it was kind of cool was because ATN stood for all things nerdy.
Ooh.
So I was trying to be a little like secret corporate nerdy badass, but
Your
that wasn't
badassery
it.
is no secret, my friend. Keep going. You can't let that shit be a secret.
Well, the ATN actually came from T. T was my soul sister who passed, and she was the one who helped me come up with that. So I didn't want to let that go.
Right.
I didn't want to let go of ATN because I felt like if I did, I was forgetting her. And then I went through this journey with my friend. And during this journey, we're talking about the creative blocks. And as we're coming out of the journey, I'm just like drawing as she's talking. And I come out and I see this, like, it's a rough sketch because I'm not a great drawer.
It's rough, y'all. It's rough.
It was like you think of a stick figure, like, so I'm like, here's like what I think a skeleton looks like, here's what I think a snake might look like it's all lines, like there's no like
snake is like
structure.
a spiral.
Right.
Like a spiral. Right, this is a snake, y'all.
Do you see it? It goes
it goes
so I was like, okay. I'm like, I feel like I know what this is. So then I take that and I put it into my programs and I start working it, doing the things, the magic that I do. And when I'm finished, I'm looking at it and I break down crying. Like,
that's how you know.
I was like, this is it. Like I felt a fuck yes in my body. That's what another friend of mine said. She's like, if it's
full
not a
body,
fuck yes,
baby. Yes. There, when we, business is my business bestie, my business sister, Brooke. She says that business is thousands of little decisions all the time, right? That's what we're doing. It's like 1,000 microscope, right? But we have these things that every once in a while, they just stand out in our business and they become like pivotal points in our business. And it sounds like that's what your stick figure was about.
Ooh, it was.
So that full body fuck yes. And when we feel those full body fuck yeses, we know, okay, there's something here because that's our intuition, right?
The cool thing is once I put it on the screen and I had made it real, made it tangible. It was my cane because I walk with a cane. I had an injury while I was in the military and it just got progressively worse. Now I walk with a cane. But it's pimped out with black snake prints.
Rock a cane. Let's be clear.
It is my staff of power now. So that's what I call it.
Was Merlin part of that?
No, funny enough, he wasn't at the time. He's more involved in my business now because he's one of my spirit guides, but like whenever he's coming through, that's the vision that I get. And he always tells me it, like, really, Angel, this is what you're visioning. I was like, I'm sorry. Okay. Like, this is what's coming through.
This is all I got, bro.
So when the logo was on the screen, I'm looking at it. The staff is there. My cane is there. There's snake around it. The skull on the side, and all of that meant the shadows that I've walked through, the shedding that I've gone through, and the rising, the cane of what I am today. And what's even cooler about this is I put it all together, right? This is where shit is just crazy and I love it. But I put it all together and I was really like, man, this is really cool. Why does this look familiar? Why does this image look familiar? And then I realized that it looks like the rod of I think it's rod of Asclepius. I always mess it up when I say it. But the rod of Asclepius is the image of medical. Which
isn't it like the double snake that's like the two snakes in the staff, or is it look different than that?
So funny enough, technically, I've done my research on this. The rod of Asclepius has one snake. And originally back in the day, there was the man, I can't even think of the other one, but there was the rod with two snakes. Yeah. And that one was actually meant for business and finance. And there was a miscommunication over time. So then they started making it into technically the rod of business and stuff is what people associate with medical because of
That's true.
miscommunication. So, I did my research. So,
You mean you went down an ADHD deep dive rabbit hole?
oh, absolutely, I did.
Boy, we're
And
good at that.
it was great. I was like, let's just keep going. Yep, sure did.
So,
So
so you were looking at this image and you're like, what is this? What is this? And then you saw it. And then what happened?
I saw it and I cried harder. Like, cause I was just like, everything that I am is in this image. Everything that I am,
Yeah.
everything that I want to be is in this image. And I want
Mm-hmm.
this to be well known. I want this to be a sign of safety for others. I want people to look
Mm-hmm.
at this and go, oh, it looks scary, but really, Angel's just a jelly bean. She has a hard exterior, but she's got a soft, gooey inside. Like, that's what I want people to like understand about me is, yeah, it
Yep.
looks badass, but really, I just want you to come and be my friend. Like,
Girl, we're villains with a heart. I'm just saying.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Truth tellers, not villains. We're truth tellers with a heart. Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. I love that story because that just shows the power of our subconscious, I think. Because subconsciously, somewhere you knew that image, but it came out in a way that was really customized to you. So,
Yeah.
what is the skull? What is everything? I know the cane represents you and walking with the cane. I know the snake represents that. What does the skull represent?
The skull represents the
Mm,
shadows that we all have
yeah.
that's showing others, hey, look, I've been there. I've walked through some dark tunnels. I may not know exactly what you've been through, but I'm not afraid of it. I'm not afraid of the
Yeah.
darkness, and I
Oh,
will come
wow.
headstrong into that darkness and I'll come get you if you need it.
Oh my God,
That's
that's me.
that's me.
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Yeah.
Because here's why I say that. We're going to tangent here.
All right.
Whenever I have a friend or a loved one or somebody close to me who loses somebody, who has somebody die, who has some loss in their life, our society doesn't understand how to handle grief, I don't think, well enough. We think there's some timeline. Everybody should just get on with it. And we're sitting there going, there's no timeline on my healing, motherfuckers. But okay, and I, as a human, used to, like, I fear dying early. I've always had a fear of dying young because I've almost died enough times for like 2 cat lives with different medical issues and things that I've had. So
Mhm.
that fear of death is not founded in like nothing. I've like been close, right? And I actually didn't see anybody pass away in my life, in my family, like close to me until I was in my 20s, right? And then after that, I will go towards, because when everybody else is walking out, we all need those people who are going to walk right in and go, yep, this sucks. What you're going through stinks. I'm right here in your pocket if you need anything. I'm not going to ask you what you need because you already have enough decisions to make. I'm just going to be here. And there's something powerful in, I just think that's neurodivergence too, because we will walk into things that other people are running away from. That's like our
Yep.
nature, right?
Facts.
So I feel like maybe that's part of this too, is that when we've experienced death and understand how that changes you as a person, and we see somebody who's in the beginning of that moment, and we remember the beginning of that moment and just how difficult that was, I will now run towards. And it sounds like that's what you do too. And that's not natural for
No.
humans, because death is a fucking scary thing, right? It's like, okay, I will just cease to be, but when you've walked somebody through death like you, and when
Yeah.
you've experienced it, I just think it's a beautiful thing that we have in common, that we'll both walk towards that. And that
Yeah.
actually adds to your Flamekeeper. You're like, here, I'm going to give you this fire until you can find your own fire again. Oof. What I think is cool for you is that you bring so many of these experiences and your big heart and your ability to have empathy and compassion for other people, and you bring that into your branding and your website creation. And that's, there's so many different ways to get to the same destination, but it's your unique way and path of doing things that makes you the right destination for your people. What's
Hmm.
your favorite part of the process in your work? What do you think? Like, if you could boil down, like, what's when this particular thing happens, or when this particular moment happens, and that your client does XYZ, what is that moment for you? If you can name it.
There's a lot. But if I have to pinpoint it to one,
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably have to say the bit right before the creation.
Mm-hmm.
It's the hearing of their story.
Mm-hmm.
It's the feelings that they feel, the feelings that they want their clients to feel,
Mm-hmm.
the darkness that they embody. It's like a duality for me. And
Mm-hmm.
that's been coming up a lot for me, duality.
Uh-huh.
But it really is the duality. It's the duality of hearing their story, seeing how they want it to kind of envision how they envision their brand, their business to
Mm-hmm.
be in the world, and
Mm-hmm.
then being able to sit and meditate and transmute that
Yeah.
into something beautiful. And for the most part, I don't think I've had anybody say I hate the design. I
Yeah.
have not had anyone ever tell me that I hate the design. And that's probably because it's more of an intuitive base. It's
Yeah.
I sit with everything. I take a minute. Okay, we just did your session. Now I'm going to sit here with it, and I'm going to ruminate on it. I'm going to let it stir. I'm going to see what emotions come up, and then we start to create.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. That's
those are
awesome.
my favorite.
Is there anything about the work you do that you love doing the most in that process, or is like the actual work of it?
I love the creation process itself. So
Yeah.
taking like drawing granted, most of the time they're stick figures, which is fine. Nobody sees that part. Nobody sees that part except
Just
my partners.
you. Yeah. Just
No,
you
my
and the people
partners
in your
do.
house. Yeah.
I
That's
was
so
like,
good.
they're like, what? Do you like it? And they're like, what are those two stick figures doing? Why
You're
is
like, is
there,
that going to be a
what are they
bumper
dang?
sticker for the
Right.
back of a car? What is
What
that? Is
is
that
that?
stick figure family?
And then I'm like, what? You don't see it? There's this and then this. And they're like, sure, babe, whatever you
Are
say.
they
I'm like,
looking
all
at you
right, well,
nodding, going, uh-huh,
yeah,
yeah,
right.
uh-huh.
Sure.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's amazing. Well, I'm really glad that you said yes to coming here and, you know, connecting with women like me is so healing
Mm,
because for so many years of our lives, we feel like the odd person out in the room. We feel like the fucking weirdo. We feel like the dismissed, the ignored, the unseen. Even when we're big and bold and loud, we still feel unseen because sometimes some of that is coping, defense mechanism, masking even. It's like, see, I'm such a good person and I'm cool and I have this great personality. But when you actually have conversations with other women with brains like yours, where interruption is a love language, not an insult, where we compare, where somebody comes in with a story that's similar to your story, not as a way to one up you, but as a way to relate. You know, when we understand our own neurodivergence and we understand our friends that they have brain similar to ours, neurodivergent, like ADHD conversations are literally some of the best. Like it's great because I no longer feel like the weirdo in the room. I feel like the normies are the weirdo in the room. And that is such a
agreed.
huge shift. I don't know if you know this Instagram, it's called My Favorite Joe or something. She
Mm-mm.
is fucking hysterical. She runs her Instagram as if neurodivergent people were the standard and the normies were not, and we'll give the perspective backwards like, okay, so is there any, like, a job interview, is there anything else you need me to know? I am neurotypical. And I lost my ever loving mind. Like, I'm gonna need some accommodations for my normalcy. I started laughing, but just kind of like that flip of that. But I just, we are very prominent in the world, especially in entrepreneurship, in creative endeavors,
Yeah.
music, acting, movies, all of that kind of creation.
Yeah.
We are a necessary part of the world. And unfortunately, we oftentimes get seen as, oh, you're lazy. Oh, you oh, everybody's little ADHD. That just makes me want to punch somebody. And I'm not a violent person, but that phrase is like, everybody's a little ADHD. No, it's different in being forgetful. Oh, I forgot my keys. As opposed to this affects every area of my fucking life. and
Yep.
it's not like that. But my whole goal is really focusing on the upsides while acknowledging that the hard parts are real.
Mm-hmm.
And I came to that really through my favorite ADHD research doctor, Dr. Ned, and he sees it that way too. And it just finally meeting people like myself and not feeling like a stranger in the world is so healing. That's why I love having women like you on the podcast to have these conversations, is that this feels natural to me. When I'm talking to somebody who's neurotypical and just doesn't get it, I'm just like, I don't have anything. I don't have as much to say because I'm like, I don't understand you. But we lead with depth, and that's not normal in society where it's like pleasantries, right? Like, hi, how are you? Fine, how are you? Like, that's no, you're not actually asking anybody how they're doing. You're
No.
just like the pleasantry of it. Whereas we'll be like, girl, no, how you doing? And we'll just like tell how we're doing. It's like things that totally made sense to me that didn't seem to make sense to others until I found the others who were like me. Do you find that when you connect with other women like yourself, like who have ADHD or who are neurodivergent, that you just click so much easier?
I do.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain every single one of, so I have a group of friends called the Village. That's what I call them. And it's just a whole bunch of different people that have come together, all from different walks of life, and we get together on a monthly basis.
That's awesome.
I'm fairly certain that most of them are on our neurospicy, like on one list. And then there's like a couple that are like neurotypical, and I'm like, God, you're boring.
You're like, not to be rude, but just to be a little rude, but not to be rude.
You stay over there. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's good. Well, my sweet, sweet friend. I always say my sweet, sweet baby angels is what I call some of my friends, but you really are angels. So my sweet, sweet baby angel. Tell the people listening, tell our folks how to find you, the easiest way to find you. And if you want, I mean, your services are your services, but you are you, and that's what makes you unique. So it's branding and website, but with a twist. Tell them how to find you and all the ways they can contact you if they're interested in talking to you about your services.
Well, first of all, it has been a pleasure, and I am truly honored that you invited me on today. You are a magical, badass queen, and I'm so glad that I decided to just be like, hey, I like you. I think you're cool. We should be friends. Into your DMs.
It's like the best. Instagram. It's the best. It's the best. It's like, hi, your vibe is my vibe. Let's vibe. Yeah.
Yep.
I love it.
But again, that leads to the easiest way to find me is actually on Instagram. I am probably the most active on Instagram, and you can find me at Angel-Branding Co. And dash is spelled out for those of you who are listening because my last name is Dash.
Yes. You're like, it's not like Angel, the actual symbol dash. It's the word dash. Yes.
Yes.
Got it.
So Angel-Branding Co. You can actually find me on a lot of other platforms using that handle as well. And we just actually took our community that we had. It was a networking event. It got that was boring. I hated the networking event title. So we actually swapped it. And after talking with the community, we decided to rename it and we moved it over to a new platform. And now it's called the Flamekeeper Circle. And it's a campfire like style of gathering. It's virtual because I want everyone and anyone who vibes with us around the world to be invited to share your stories, to just, we're here to connect. That's what I want people to do in the Flamekeeper Circle. So you can also find that in the link in my bio. Just find the Flamekeeper Circle and come and say hi. That would be amazing.
Is there any final thing you want to leave my listeners with, my sister friend?
There's so many things, but I would have to say the thing that's coming up right now, because it has been a topic lately, is rest is a non-negotiable. Especially for us neurospicies, rest is a non-negotiable. So no matter how much you push, no matter how much you keep going, no matter the hustle, it's going to be there. It's going to be there when you come back. If you don't take care of your body now, it's going to make time to take care of, or make you take time for it. So just take time, breathe into your body, and remember that I love you, and I know Carrie loves you. So I'm so happy to be here. So.
Well, thank you so much for coming and doing this today. I really, woo, puberty. I really, I'm so glad that you said yes and that we were able to just have this little chat.
Thanks for having me, Carrie.
Yeah. Say bye to everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye.
And with that, we are going to end today's episode. When you are ready to be held to a high standard while combining business growth strategy, your ADHD brain won't reject with making fuck you money and loving your life, my work is for you. Get into my world in one of these two ways. Keep up with the latest and greatest here. Hop onto my newsletter, The Frequency, which is exclusively for late diagnosed and self-identified ADHD women in business. The link is in the show notes. And if you want to chat about simplifying your business for growth and what that looks like to work together, book your free clarity call with me by sliding into my DMs on Instagram at Carrie Out Loud, or go to the link in my show notes to jump on a call with me. It's 30 minutes. It's not a coaching call. I get to know you and your business, your goals, your desires, and we see if we are a match to work together. Fucking hooray. Until next week, I see you, I love you, and I am fucking rooting for you always. Stay feral, bitches. Bye. Oh, hey, you're still here. Thank you for listening all the way to the end. Be sure to check out the show notes for all the ways to follow me. And of course, my goal is to find and help as many women with ADHD get away from the 9-to-5 grind, because it's just not designed for our neurospicy brilliance, and there are other ways to do life. So by subscribing, sharing, and giving a 5-star review, it helps other women find this podcast as well. And if there's an episode you really love, please feel free to take a screenshot and share it on your social and tag me in it so that I can thank you personally. Until next time, you spicy brained unicorn. Bye.